Welcome to Mishna study, Masachet Terumot Perek Tet Mishnah here. Over here in this Mishnah, we're going to see an interesting distinction between an item whose seed disintegrates in the ground. Let's say when you plant wheat in the ground, right, that disintegrates, and the new wheat that grows from it, is totally new wheat, as opposed to something whose the seed itself doesn't disintegrate. Let's say like an onion. You plant an onion bulb, right? That onion bulb also that doesn't go away, right? It's still, everything grows from that one onion bulb. So we're going to see an interesting distinction between the two. Over here, we're going to speak about someone who has a row of Teruma. They got mixed in with another 100 rows of Hullin, right? So, well, actually, it's the opposite. It's 100 rows of Teruma. They got mixed with one Hullin, got mixed into it. Okay, so that's the first case of the Mishnah. So you have 100 rows of Teruma. So you planted 100 rows of Teruma, and you had one row of Hullin, right? They got mixed up together. I don't remember which one's which. Kulan mutarim, right? They're all mutar. All 100 rows of Teruma are mutar. Bedavar shezar'o kaleh, right? Instead of kula, just like kaleh, right? When it comes to a seed, when you plant it, it becomes disintegrated. Right? So everything's allowed. Those 101 rows, even though 100 of them were Teruma, they're all, allowed. Again, because it's something that's growing from it, right? It's growth, right? As we spoke about in this whole perek, it's something that's growing from those seeds, and it's not that seed itself. So therefore, everything is mutar, it's a kula. But let's say it's something that's seed doesn't become disintegrated when you plant it in the ground, such as an onion, right? Even if it's the opposite, we have 100 Hullin and one of Teruma, so you say, oh no, Teruma, it's 1 to 100, it's batel. No, they're all asur, right? So you see this is an extra humra over here when it comes to these rows of Teruma, as opposed to if it got, mixed into, in a pile of fruits. Now that it's a row, it's distinguishable, right? And it's not mixed in with the Hullin, so we don't even treat it like the laws of Miduma that we saw earlier. And we see over here two extremes over here cases when you're planting something and the growth is coming from it. So you planted a seed of wheat kernel, the wheat grows from it. Even if you have 100 rows of Teruma and one of Hullin, it's all batil. You could have all mutar. But if it comes to something like an onion whose bulb stays in the ground, it doesn't disintegrate, then if you have even the opposite, 100 rows of Hullin and one of Teruma, that one of Teruma is going to make them all become asur, because they're non-distinct, because they are distinguishable, and we're going to say that it's all considered safek Teruma.